Welcome back, Scummers, to the Dark Uprising campaign set here in Hive Galatus. As Downtime comes to an end, we move our campaign into the Damnation phase, and as part of that, all territories will be ruined and the starving condition will come in effect. So without further delay, let's take a look at Patrol 3-5 Echo. 3-5 Echo recruited 3 new subjugators in Downtime, starting with Subjugator Patrolman Jackson, followed up by Subjugator Sergeant codename Bravo, and finishing off with Subjugator Sergeant Murphy, along with his hard-case Mastiff, Rogan. The patrol now enjoy a crew size of 10 members and a gang rating of 1645. If you want to look at the rosters in any more detail, the link will be in the description below. Moving on to House Cawdor. The Brotherhood of the Dying Light have been blessed with 3 new gangers in the form of Poxwalker Flemis, Poxwalker Necros and Poxwalker Bile. For all intents and purposes, they will just be treated as regular gangers. They've also managed to recruit an Ambot designation AX-13. The Brotherhood grows to a total of 14 members and a new gang rating of 1435. For further information on lasting injuries and advancements, click the crew roster in the link below. The Brotherhood take to the field today on the defensive with D3 plus 7 fighters for a total of 8, leaving with Erebus, Maxim, Nathaniel, David, Darius, Flea, Flemis and Necros. Patrol 3-5 Echo will be on the attack today and leave with D3 plus 7 crew members and will be taking their entire crew. The only fighter for both gangs with the starving condition is Mac.
Greetings, Hive Scum, and welcome to the Damnation of Hive Galatus. Today we shall bear witness to a hit-and-run attack in vengeance for their fallen brother Preacher, enacted by Patrol 3-5 Echo, who depart with 3 new subjugators. Subjugator Patrolman Jackson, Subjugator Sergeant Bravo, and Subjugator Sergeant Murphy, accompanied by Hardcase Mastiff Rogan. Meanwhile, the Brotherhood of the Dying Light celebrate the blessings of their benefactor. They will depart with 2 of their new gangers today, with Poxwalker Flemis and Poxwalker Necros. Who will win the battle for the soul of this hive? There can be no forgiveness. There can be no respite. There is only war.
So, priority roll comes out, and House Cawdor get the drop with 5. First up, Necros, the new Poxwalker, will double move and a bit of cover, and Mac will group activate with Rainman and Pete. Rainman will move forward, and as we all know, the Enforcers love a bit of shotgun action. He will level his shotgun on template mode at both Necros and Brother David, covering them both, and thanks to scatter shot it will negate the benefits from that partial cover. So let's roll out that ammo check. All good. Scoring 3 hits on Necros and 6 on David. So wound rolls come out for Necros. Armor save is made, and for Brother David 6 wound rolls come out, 3 of which are successful. So armor saves all failed. There's nothing really you can do, but he is most definitely taken out of action. Good job, Rainman. So rolling up for the injury, we have a 42, which is a grievous injury, and he will go into recovery. Next up, Pistol Pete will move out into the open. He will draw his stub gun and he will fire at Erebus, the champion of the Brotherhood of the Dying Light. He will be -2 due to the cover, but +2 due to the short range, needing 4. It does hit. Wound roll comes out. Unfortunately, no wound. Back over to Mac to finish this group activation. He will simply double move to take up a better position for a later turn. This, however, will draw the attention of Brother Maxim, who will take aim and shoot at Mac. He is just at the 8-inch, so he will get +1 for short range, and he still misses. So, not the best of shots. Moving round to our new Sergeant codename Bravo, he will use Teamwork and group activate both Brick and Jackson. So, first to move will be our new subjugator patrolman Jackson. He will move and shoot at Flemus using his stub gun. He will be +2 for short range. Does hit, strength 3 against toughness 3. It definitely wounds. Fails that armor check, rolling out for injury. And Flemus goes down with a serious injury. Brick will then move and he will draw his stub gun too. Popping a shot at Brother Nathaniel up there. He needs a 4. He misses, needs an ammo roll, which, given a bit of handy camera work, he does pass. So, stray shot on a 1 to 3. Nope, it's all good. On a 1 to 3 it would have hit Patrolman Jackson in front. And now to finish off, Sergeant Bravo, he will double move, taking up a vantage point on top of these stairs for later turns. Over to House Cawdor and the Brotherhood of the Dying Light. Our champion Erebus, he will stand and he will then move further along, hoping to cause some damage in the next turn with that glorious large blast template weapon against the subjugator patrolman. Next we'll see Sergeant Murphy group activate using teamwork. He will group activate Rogan and Bosun. Bosun will move up the ladder and he will shoot his bolter at Erebus, so +1 for short range. He'll need a 3+. I rolled 2d6 for some reason, but they've both definitely missed, so we'll stick with that. Mistakes were made. So it stays a miss, and we'll roll out our ammo check, and our ammo is okay. So, moving past that, Murph double moves towards this large secured door, ignoring Flemus on the ground who's rolling about. And Rogan, our hardcase mastiff, will charge Necros. He moves 5, he needs 2 inch, he gets it. He runs in, and he will chomp down some Poxwalker flesh with a coup de grace. Rolling out our injury for Necros, we have a 12. He is out cold. Brother Flea will then move and shoot at Bosun. +2 for short range, -1 for partial cover. He needs a 4, and that shot goes wide. Back to the enforcers. Higgs, who was strategically concealed, he will double move towards Sergeant Murphy, lending him support for the next turn. Brother Nathaniel doesn't take too kindly to that though, and he will aim and shoot, taking his shots against Bosun. +1 for aim, +1 for short range, needs a 2 up. Let's see how it goes. Hit roll comes out. Does hit. Let's see that wound roll, and no wound. That will almost wrap things up, and we will finish off with a simple move from Brother Darius, who will think better of being at that blast door with 2 very large, very angry subjugators and an angry dog. Bottle check comes out for House Cawdor. They pass, the enforcers can't fail. So, moving on to turn 2. Here's the lay of the land as it stands. The score is the enforcers have 2 victory points and the Brotherhood of the Dying Light are on 0. Now, as part of our campaign development, the Brotherhood of the Dying Light will now be following the path of the Doomed from the House of Faith book, so if you want to follow along with that, you can check it out in House of Faith. If you want to replicate the horrible heretical shenanigans of the Brotherhood of the Dying Light, feel free to follow that path as well. Do your own battle reports, hit me up in the comments. It'd be cool to see some other adventures that I don't necessarily know about that are happening in the Brotherhood of the Dying Light. So with that being said, we will roll out our faith dice. So on 5s and 6s, we will generate faith dice for that pool for acts of faith later on, or in this case, acts of terrible heresy, and the blessings of Grandfather Nurgle. Let's roll out those faith dice, or heresy dice, and see what we get. And we've generated 2. We will set them aside in a pool and move on to turn 2. Turn 2 priority roll comes out, and it is a tie, meaning that the enforcers will take the drop. So Bosun will stand and he will shoot at the champion Erebus, +1 due to the short range. He will be hitting on 3s. Gets 2 hits, Strength 4 against Toughness 3, needs 3s to win, gets 2 wins. Now there's no armor save can be made due to the AP, so this is 4 damage, and Erebus is reduced to 0 wins, 3 injury dice, and he goes out of action. So, good job Bosun, right place, right time. Rolling up to see what happens to Erebus. We score a 32, which is a grievous injury, and he will go into recovery. So, now we shall need to do bottle tests for Brother Nathaniel and Flea, which I have done the wrong way. Just ignore that, it didn't really make any difference to this game. Moving over to Brother Maxim, he will aim and shoot at Mac, who is out in the open. +1 range, +1 for aim, needs a 2. He hits, rolling up to wound. No wound. Mac, as we know, doesn't take kindly to being shot at, so he will draw his stub gun, needs a 4, and he will fire at Maxim. It does hit, 4+ to wound, causes a wound. Armor save is failed, and a serious injury comes out. Maxim is down. Not looking great for the Brotherhood of the Dying Light thus far. So, moving over to Brother Nathaniel, he will aim and shoot at Bosun. +1 for aim, +1 for short range. He will be hitting on a 2+. Hit roll comes out. And it does hit. He will need to check his ammo though. Rolling that up, that is also passed. So Bosun goes down, he'll be wounded on a 4. And no wound. So, once again, Sergeant Murphy, he will group activate and use his teamwork skill to activate both Higgs and the Hardcase Mastiff Rogan. So first up, Higgs will move towards this blast door and open it. And then Rogan will charge at Flea. So, let's see how this goes. Angry Cyber Mastiff against Tiny Cawdor Ganger. 2 attacks, +1 for charging, hitting on 3s. He scores all 3 hits, rolling up to wound. It causes 3 wounds. -1 AP, so there's no saves. 3 injury dice come out. He is seriously injured, and the good boy Rogan gets another meal. So, we've rolled up for our last injury, which is 35, which is grievous. He'll go into recovery. Brother Nathaniel, hearing the sounds of a hungry dog, he will become broken. It's all gone a little wrong for the Brotherhood of the Dying Light. Moving back to our group activation, we will then see Murph taking the lead from Rogan. He will charge at Brother Darius, which is 6 inches away roughly, and he can't fail. So, we will see Sergeant Murphy move in. 2 attacks, he'll be using the shock baton for both, needs 4+. Scoring 1 hit, strength 3 versus toughness 3, needs 4 to wound. And causes a wound. Armor save comes out, and it's all good. Brother Darius will strike back with his bare hands, needing a 4, which hits. And Murph's save will come out as well. On a 2+ with that shield, he is all good. So, Foxwalker Flemus will stand, and using our faith dice, he will use By the Manner of My Death. He will hop over here and then proceed to explode in a glorious shower of narkly goodness. So, Rain Man won't be wounded by it, and Pistol Pete won't be wounded by it, but it was definitely worth it just to see. And Flemus will be removed as a casualty, rolling up a 36, which is a grievous injury. Pistol Pete will then move and open the blast door over to the Brotherhood of the Dying Light. Brother Darius stands and fights with Murph. 1 attack hitting on a 4+, rolling out to see how it goes. And it goes wide. Murph will react with his baton, needing a 4+, which also goes wide. So, not a great combat thus far, but moving over to Rain Man. He will move. And then, once he's past this blast door, he will level his shotgun on the scattershot mode at Brother Nathaniel. He's just not having a great time, to be honest. He's helped his friend get eaten, and now he's getting hit with a shotgun. So this is how I use template weapons when it's going up levels. When it's down levels, I just keep it level. And it hits 5 times. Now this weapon has the knockback trait, so rolling up to see what happens, he fails the initiative and falls. He will take a strength 3 hit from falling, so it will wound on a 4 up, which does wound. For some reason I didn't roll the armor save, and a serious injury is caused. And then we'll do the wounds from the shotgun, which causes 1 wound. And then Jackson will charge in and get the coup de grace. Now, because of earlier errors and gameplay, we rolled up 64 here. This shouldn't have happened, so we're going to treat that as a grievous injury, and Nathaniel will go into recovery instead, and there'll be no XP gained. Codename Bravo then moves, draws his stub gun, and fires at Brother Maxim. Be -1 for Maxim being prone, so he'll need a 4+, and that shot is missed. Then we shall head over to Subjugator Brick, who, not being one to show mercy, will aim and shoot his grenades towards Brother Maxim. He will need a 3, and that definitely hits. Rolling up to wound. Let's see how well Maxim does. If he's lying low enough. And no wound is caused. So, at the end of round 2 and start at turn 3, Cawdor will voluntarily flee the field. Absolutely vicious from the enforcers, seeking vengeance for their fallen brother Preacher in the last game. If you haven't seen that, I recommend you go back and have a look at it. But this game was absolutely wild. All those group activations with teamwork. If you're in the right place at the right time, it's just simply devastating. Vengeance has been served.